Welcome everyone to Vlogmas in July. That's right, a video every day presented by Nomad Internet. Typically, Vlogmas is done in December, where vloggers on YouTube upload a video every day for 25 days leading up till Christmas morning. As a Christmas fanatic, this is a great way for me to be cheerful and thankful all month long. Opie, you better be a good boy this July. Santa Paws is watching. Tara, no more sneaking into catnip sack. Santa Paws will bring you coal. Thanks for joining me this month, guys, and have a jolly old month of July. That's right, everybody. Vlogmas in July, a video every single day, continues and sadly ends today here on the 25th of July for you guys. As you can see, we got some work to do on Freeda today. I'll tell you about the story. Yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. I am here at an RV park. The project that we're working on right now may not end, but like I said, Vlogmas in July is over. This is the last one. Let me tell you a little bit of story about how we got here and how I realized a couple things that were going on. First of all, I was driving here yesterday, driving down Highway 12, and really out of the blue, my RV was pulling to the right, pulling to the passenger side. In fact, in order to go straight, I had to have the steering wheel at about 9:30, 10 o'clock just to go straight. And then if I let go of it, obviously it jerked back around, went past center, and was wanting to go into the right. And I was driving down the road thinking, okay, but if I hold it here, you know, we can go straight and everything feels right. Did I come out of alignment? Is that a thing? I'm like, no, I don't think that's really a thing. Something's got to be going on, right? It only took 10 more miles to figure out something was going on. I started smelling burnt brakes, guys. And knowing that there was no semi-trucks in front of me or around me or any other vehicles that could come by, I took the very next stop, got out of the driver's side, smelled under that wheel well, nothing, came over to this side right now where Andrew's at, and yeah, burnt brakes, which makes sense. In my mind, Andrew and I were talking about it, it's like, okay, maybe we have a caliper that's seized, like it's applying brakes to the rotor, or somehow there's a kinked brake line or something going on. But clearly this side is braking. That's why it's pulling to the right, and I'm having to compensate on the steering wheel. But we're all speculating. I went to Aberdeen, picked up my buddy Andrew. We're gonna go ahead and pull off that tire and take a look at the brakes, take a look at the caliper. But let's take this tire off and take a peek at the caliper. Andrew's got the caliper off here, off the rotor. Inspected the rotor and it doesn't actually look that bad, but now just testing it to see that once it's compressed in, that these actually push back out naturally. All right, here's where we're at. The caliper doesn't appear to be having an issue directly, but we know something's going on in that system. There's something making the brakes burn up and pulling the RV. All the brake fluid looks okay and everything, but on the back side of the rotor, there's a strong cut on the back side, and if you look at the pad on the back side, the pad shows that there was once a rock that got lodged between the pad and the rotor. So at this point, I guess I'm just kind of all in and saying, let's just do a complete front brake redo. So that way I know right now when the front brakes are done, that means we're gonna go get 2 new rotors, 2 new calipers, brake pads on both sides, and while we're at it, we're doing wheel bearings, right? Yep. We're gonna do wheel bearings too. So Andrew's gonna take apart one side so we have all the parts to go in, then we'll go down to O'Reilly's, get everything we need, and we'll be here for the day. Exciting. Thanks, Andrew. So Andrew's got the hub assembly off, and I don't know if it shows up on the, yeah, right there. See where my finger's at? That is most likely damage from a rock that got between the rotor and the pad there. And it's time. It's just time to get some new rotors. One more wheel bearing in there we gotta grab. All right, guys, we just got back from O'Reilly's. Got some toys, let me show you. This will be a complete front brake job, guys. 2 rotors, 2 calipers, brake pads, ceramic. We got our bearings for inner and outer. We've got new grease seals, some grease, new brake lines here. We're gonna have to have some more fluid there because we are gonna lose some when we bleed the whole system. But yeah, we're gonna do this. And by we, of course, I mean Andrew is gonna do it. I'm gonna pay him because nobody ever pays me in gum. Do just also want to mention that we got park permission to do this because this caliper had locked up. Maybe not all parks you go to will allow you to do work like this if it's maintenance, but if it's something that has to be done because it was an emergency. Right now we're just kind of not really flushing the system, but you know, I got some extra brake fluid, so we're just going to top off the master cylinder and let it drip into this pan. It's actually coming out really, really clear right now, so in a way, by the time we get done, because we're going to have to bleed all 4 points of this after we get done with this job, we should have some pretty good, clean, fresh brake fluid, not stuff from 21 years ago. So for reference, we went with O'Reilly, and we have an issue with the calipers. We got the left and right calipers and it's not working. I'll show you. So this hanger, the one we just pulled off, is identical to the other hanger that we got. These are fine. This is for the passenger side. However, if you go to the driver's side, you can see that these are opposite, right? And the hardware doesn't fit on this one. It's clearly off and wrong. Also, one thing we were noticing is that this has a different, it's got a little Chrysler emblem on it, which is really throwing us off on this. Also, this doesn't naturally fit, and this is the hardware that came in the box with this hanger. So before we go any further, we think we have to make a separate trip and go back an hour and go see what's up. It's just one of those frustrating things. Part of this may have been a return. Part of it may have been somebody checking out a few different pieces and then they got put in the wrong box that don't match up with the hardware, but
I need a file no matter what.
all right, so we're close to losing daylight here, but got the passenger tire put on just kind of temporarily. This is just in case the jack actually fails and Andrew's over on the other side working. So we went ahead and called O'Reilly's. They don't have any of these in stock, so temporarily what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the existing bracket for the caliper on the passenger side, which is this one temporarily. So this will be the only piece on the driver's side that's currently not brand new, but we know it's gonna fit, and then later on we can swap this out once we get it all figured out. We think they may have just put this part in the wrong box, and they're gonna make it right, but not tonight. We want to get the RV back together tonight. All right, we're getting close as the sun is setting here, getting the second side back together except for the one old piece that click. Good, cool, there we go. So we have just begun our second 32 ounce of brake fluid there. Just want to point out, I forgot to get a video of it earlier, but this whole bottom section was very dark, dirty 21-year-old brake fluid there, and now as you can see it's clear. We're getting close to starting the brake bleed session because we are just about finished up here on the driver's side. So we're gonna start bleeding the brakes. Andrew and I are gonna start farthest away from our master cylinder right here over on the passenger rear, and then come over to the driver rear, and then passenger front, and then finish up here. So we're gonna bleed these brakes, put the tire back on, be back in business. All right, so I'm FaceTiming here with Andrew on my phone. He's gonna tell me when to apply the brakes and what to do, and let her rip.
All right, down.
We're down, we're halfway, we're to the floor.
Up.
We're released.
Down.
We're down. Now we'll jump over to the passenger side and do the same thing, and then do the front driver's side. All right, well, I'm back to the RV. Had to take Andrew back to Aberdeen and back, which added another 3 hours and 15 minutes of me behind the wheel. I'm so tired of driving. It is now 2:15 in the morning, and I'm exhausted, guys. However, this project, this brake project, we're done, but I'm not going to be able to test it. I mean, I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. In a couple days when I leave here, it'll be the first time I get on the road. And of course, I know we're breaking in some new brakes, so there's that whole routine. And then I need to make sure that I have brakes, make sure there's no air left in the line. So I'm going to put this off as far as testing it, and to make sure the wheel is back in the center position. But for right now, I'm just going to call it quits. This is not really the ending to Vlogmas in July that I was expecting, and I reduced it from 31 days to 25 anyway, but it's been an interesting month. It's been a learning experience. Those of you who have watched all my videos, I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. But don't do this if you're a YouTube creator. It's not going to do anything for your channel. It's just going to drive you crazy. I'm going to take a little break, guys. Okay? So be patient. Opie and Tara and I will not see you tomorrow. We'll see you when we're ready, okay? Okay. Bye, guys.